Hello and welcome to Generation Auto, a web series brought to you by Crevier Classic Cars. Now, can you imagine an American automaker setting out to build the world's most prestigious and luxurious car? Well, in the 1950s, that's exactly what Ford set out to do with the Continental Mark II. In its day, many considered it to be the American Rolls-Royce. This is the epitome of a luxury car in the 1950s, but it's not gaudy.
No, a lot of the manufacturers were building some pretty gaudy cars, a lot of excess, but the design with this car is about simplicity, elegance, proportions.
So Ford set out to build the ultimate luxury car, and this wasn't a Lincoln, it was a Continental. Explain the difference.
Technically, it wasn't a Lincoln. What Ford did is they separated the Continental Motor Division outside of Lincoln, giving them full autonomy, and basically the intention of designing, marketing, and building the finest available luxury American car.
Yeah, I mean, Continental's bar was not here. It was to be the finest American luxury automobile, right?
Absolutely. It was $10,000 when it was new, and Ford reportedly lost $1,000 per copy just to be able to build the most expensive luxury car available.
And what type of buyer would have this car?
People like Frank Sinatra, Cecil B. DeMille, the Shah of Iran, people of affluence and celebrity.
Right, right. Wow, it definitely shows that this was the bar for luxury. And I think they did that through design, too. I mean, this is a long car, wide, very low-cal greenhouse.
Great,
beautiful.
Really great proportions from any angle. And that was their intention with the design, is to be able to stand the test of time. And it's consistently been voted one of the top 25 most beautiful designs of all time.
When I think of a 50s car, I think black, but this burgundy color just is, I think, such a great complement to this shape. Did Continental do anything particular to get this kind of a luster in the paint?
They did. It was a very intricate paint process. They would mock the panels up. They were primed, they were sealed, they were painted, then they were wet sanded. They were painted again, baked, wet sanded, and this process was repeated until you wound up with a finish like this.
And the restorer, did he also adhere to that high quality level?
He really did. He took careful attention to detail to take the car down to bare metal, primer it, seal it, paint it, sand it, apply more coats, sand that, repeat the process, and block the panels so that you wind up with an extremely aero-straight body highlighted by very lustrous, rich paint.
And I was trying to figure out why it looks so straight. I mean, it's like one long continuous body panel, and I think it's because they got rid of gaps in the car. Like, I don't see a fuel filler door.
No, the gaps are very tight, and they did subtle things like hiding where you filled the fuel. They hid it behind the rear taillight, which swings away on a hinge and gives you access to the fuel.
That also explains probably why the exhaust tips are also integrated into the bumper.
Yes.
One of the things I noticed about this car are intricate features, though. Like, this is not a hubcap. This wheel cover.
Yeah, it's much more than a hubcap. Each one of those vanes, there's 54 vanes, they're each individually chromed, hand assembled, bolted on. I mean, they're very intricate and complicated piece.
Let's look at the interior of this car. This two-tone scheme here, is this correct for the model year?
Yeah, this is correct. They had a two-tone scheme with the piping, the contrasting piping, and the leather that they used, it's very interesting. They actually imported the leather from Scotland. The bar was not high enough for
American leather?
American leather, which was sprayed and not vat dyed, like the Scottish leather, which they imported.
And the designers of the interior even paid attention to the door jambs with this chrome trim. And the door panels aren't just leather on panel. I mean, there's sculpture to these.
Yes, they're hand-stitched, they're hand-fitted. This was a very intricate and beautiful design, in my opinion, and added to the luxuriousness and luster of the vehicle.
Earlier we were talking about the dashboard and how the minimalist look made it more elegant.
Well, one of the things, in my opinion, is the simplicity of the design is what makes it so elegant. You have 4 analog gauges, you have the uncluttered passenger area, and then of course
you can't look at the interior of the car and not notice those levers.
Those are aircraft-inspired levers that control the temperature and vents and that sort of thing and the heat, but beautiful design element.
Yeah, they are. Now, with a car of this size, it had to have been powered well. Let's talk about the power plant, the engine.
It's powered by a 368 cubic inch V8, produces about 285 horsepower. Each motor was hand assembled, basically blueprinted, balanced, and then of course dyno tested before being fitted to the car.
There was some technology, though, for the ride control on this car, wasn't there?
Actually, there was. The Continental division used a frame for this car that was specific to this vehicle. It was 30% stiffer than what was used on the Lincoln Premier. In addition, they had shock absorbers that were sensitive to temperature, so the ride was maintained in all conditions.
Sensitive to temperature.
Yes.
To give it a smooth ride.
Exactly.
Wow. This was the American Rolls-Royce of its day.
Definitely the American Rolls-Royce.
Mark, thanks so much for sharing the history of this generation of automobile. And if you'd like to find out more information, please give Mark a call here at Crevier Classic Cars. He can fill you in on all the details of this 1956 Continental Mark II. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Julian.
It's been great. Look at this emblem. It's the Continental star.